El Paso goes by many names. Sun City, 915. We are known for history, culture, food, and art. In the early 1900s, development and commerce in El Paso revolved around mining and trade. The nationally recognized mission trails are just one example of the many historic sites that portray our region's rich indigenous and colonial history. Since then, El Paso has evolved, and so has its people. We take great pride in nourishing a skilled and capable workforce, with 72% of our population being bilingual. We stay competitive among other large U.S. cities. The region's border location boasts a major trade port. It allows competitive local manufacturers to produce at maximum capacity. Fleet systems are capable of worldwide distribution of parts and products. Our state-of-the-art higher education systems are nationally recognized. The Texas Tech University Health Sciences Center El Paso, the nation's first comprehensive health sciences institution on the U.S.-Mexico border, provides students the opportunities to become doctors, nurses, and researchers. The University of Texas at El Paso offers 74 bachelor's, 74 master's, and 22 doctoral programs. Local government agencies and other economic development organizations help industries become established and expand in our community. The County of El Paso is great for business, but we also keep true to our southern hospitality with plenty of outdoor recreation options. It's easy to keep active in El Paso. We are constantly looking for new industries interested in expansion. We want to offer our help and support in the process. No matter the name, El Paso is proud, strong, progressive. We are El Paso. Come see what we can do together.
You are watching the broadcast of the El Paso County Commissioners Court meetings. Commissioners Court meetings are held every Monday at 9:30 a.m. on the third floor of the El Paso County Courthouse, located at 500 East San Antonio in downtown El Paso. These meetings are open to the public. The meeting will start momentarily.
All county offices will be closed on Monday, February the 18th, 2019, in observance of the President's Day holiday, and will reopen on Tuesday, February the 19th, 2019.
The County of El Paso Public Works Department is offering sandbags at no cost or requirements to the public. The sandbags are outside of the facilities and are available 24 hours a day. The location of the county facilities are the following: the Road and Bridge Fabens Warehouse, located at 1331 North Fabens Street in Fabens, Texas, 79838. The Road and Bridge Canutillo Warehouse, located at 191 Canutillo Avenue in Canutillo, Texas, 79835. And the Road and Bridge Montana Warehouse, located at 14698 Van Lane, El Paso, Texas, 79938. Don't wait in line, pay online. Visit the Financial Recovery Division website at http://www.epcounty.com/budget/financialrecovery.htm to make your payments online or find out more about our kiosk locations. We now accept payments on misdemeanor, felony, and justice of the peace cases.
You can now watch Commissioners Court meetings on YouTube. Go to youtube.com and search for El Paso County Commissioners or El Paso County, Texas. Subscribe to our channels to see our latest videos.
Did you know the County of El Paso's Purchasing Department is responsible for ensuring that all items and services needed by various county departments are purchased in the manner required by the state of Texas? Whether through formal sealed bids or smaller dollar quotations, the county purchasing team is dedicated to finding the best contracting return on your taxpayer dollars. Additionally, the Purchasing Department is responsible for the tracking of inventory within the county and properly disposing surplus to public auctions. For questions about how to become a vendor and compete for county contracts, or to learn more about public auctions, please contact us at telephone number 915-546-2048.
The 346 District Court Judge Angie Juarez Barril started the El Paso Veterans Treatment Court program in 2012 for veterans and active service members that have been arrested and charged with a felony or misdemeanor criminal offense. To be considered for the specialty court, the statutory criteria includes be a veteran or current member of the United States Armed Forces, including a member of the Reserves, National Guard, or State Guard, and suffer from a brain injury, mental illness, or mental disorder, including PTSD, or be a victim of military sexual trauma, all occurring or resulting from military service. Call Sylvia Serna, Veterans Program Director, at 915-546-2119, or email her at sserna@epcounty.com for any information.
Did you know that the County of El Paso's fixed asset control and inventory disposal is handled through the Purchasing Department? Throughout the course of each business year, the county holds live public auctions to dispose of aged equipment, vehicles, furniture, and other items that are no longer needed. To find out about upcoming auctions or to learn more about the county's inventory disposal process, contact the Purchasing Department at telephone number 915-546-2048.
You are watching the broadcast of the El Paso County Commissioners Court meetings. Commissioners Court meetings are held every Monday at 9:30 a.m. on the third floor of the El Paso County Courthouse, located at 500 East San Antonio in downtown El Paso. These meetings are open to the public. The meeting will start momentarily.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Today is Monday, February 11, 2019. Commissioners Court is meeting in regular open session. Would you please rise and join us for the Pledge of Allegiance?
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
May God bless America.
Good morning. On behalf of the commissioners and myself, we thank you for being here today and we welcome you. We also, we're going to have a press conference around 12 o'clock, so depending on how the agenda goes, then we'll need to take a break at 12 o'clock. Otherwise, we'll try to complete the agenda prior to that. So thank you for your patience on that. So.
Before we get started, Judge, I just wanted to wish you a happy birthday.
Oh,
today's
okay.
the judge's birthday.
I told Trump, just send a gift. You don't have to come over. Thank you very much. And now we can proceed. Thank you, Commissioner Stout.
Item number 3 is the consent agenda composed of items 3A through 3F. Are there any items that the members of the court or the public would like to pull for individual discussion?
Commissioners?
Make a motion to approve.
Second?
Commissioner Perez?
Aye.
Commissioner Leon?
Aye.
Commissioner Stout?
Aye.
Commissioner Robinson? Aye. Judge Samaniego?
Aye.
Motion carries. Item number 4, resolutions. 4A, approve and adopt a resolution recognizing February 23, 2019 as LULAC 90th Anniversary Day in El Paso County, Texas.
Good morning. Thank you, Judge, Commissioners. It gives me a tremendous amount of pride to be able to read this into the record. And I know that we have some people here from LULAC. Would you mind joining us at the podium? Good morning. Whereas the League of United Latin American Citizens, LULAC, councils are celebrating their 90th anniversary throughout the United States, and whereas LULAC was founded in Corpus Christi, Texas in 1929, followed by councils 8 and 9 in El Paso in 1932 and 1933, whereas these two LULAC councils have a rich-rooted history of providing numerous community projects and services through the creation of Project Amistad, who provides social services to constituents, awarding hundreds of thousands of dollars in scholarships to El Paso area students, founded Via del Norte Apartments to meet housing needs for low-income families, continuously advocating for the elimination of discriminatory laws and practices, and contribute thousands of volunteer hours throughout the year. And whereas on February 23rd, 2019, LULAC councils will celebrate their 90th anniversary at Project Amistad, 3210 Dyer, from 3 p.m. to 6, and are inviting the public to join them in this momentous occasion. Now, therefore, be it resolved by the El Paso County Judge and Commissioners Court that February 23rd, 2019 be known as LULAC 90th Anniversary Day. Signed this date by the honorable members of Commissioners Court.
Second.
Commissioner Perez?
Aye.
Commissioner Leon?
Aye.
Commissioner Stout?
Aye.
Commissioner Robinson?
Aye.
Judge Samaniego?
Aye.
Motion carries.
The podium is yours.
Thank you.
Good morning, Your Honor, members of the court. Thank you very much for giving us this opportunity. We are celebrating the 90th anniversary of the founding of the League of United Latin American Citizens, or LULAC. In 32 and 33, as was mentioned in the proclamation, in the resolution, LULAC found its way here in El Paso, and it's been active ever since. For the record, I would like to say that none of us here were original members of LULAC in 1932, but have continued the involvement as we began to become involved in community services. With us today is the district director. There are about 9 LULAC councils here in El Paso, And every year they get together in a convention type of meeting and elect a district director. And that person is Mary Yanez. I'd like to have her just give a little bit of greeting as well.
Thank you.
Good morning.
Thank you. Good morning. My name's Mary Yanez. I'm the district director for District 4, El Paso. Very proud El Pasoans. And we're happy to say that we're here for the 90th, and we'll be here for the 100th, for sure. And so we want to say that we're very active in El Paso, many scholarships that we provide for young people. And that's about what we work for, is for education, civil rights. We have a long history of working with courts and winning many battles. And so we're going to continue, and thanks for the recognition. And Council 8, I want you to know, is hosting this wonderful celebration this Saturday, February 23rd, and we would love for all of you to be there. Thank you.
Thank you. Would the other members like to speak a little bit? Good morning, Ms. Fierro.
Good morning. What can I say? I just hope that all of you join us on the 23rd at Project Amistad new building, remodeled. And we're hoping that we'll have a lot of people. We want to tell them what we're all about. My council, which is Council 335, all we do is raise funds for scholarships. We give 10 scholarships every year, and we hope to continue that as long as we can. We need new members, and so maybe some of you can join us and continue what we have started many years ago. This is my 50th year in LULAC.
Wow, congratulations.
Thank you. Tells you how old I am. Thank you.
I just want to thank you, not only as, were you going to speak? I'll wait until you speak.
I just wanted to thank all of you guys for recognizing LULAC as the 90th anniversary, and we would personally like to invite all of you to join us on Saturday the 23rd from 3 to 6. Also, the LULAC National President will be there, and it would be nice to have you guys welcome him to El Paso as well.
Just for the record, this was Inesita. She's our president of LULAC Council number 8.
Excellent. Okay, I just want to thank you as a LULAC, the impact that you've had in our community. I don't think we can even begin to understand the things that took place at the beginning and where we are now because of LULAC, but also as individuals. I know all of you, and each one as an individual, you do an incredible job. Your image, the way you represent our community is above exemplary. So I thank you as individuals and LULAC in general. Thank you for being here today.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. We can come down.
Item 4B, approve and adopt a resolution designating February 11, 2019 as Coach Michael McLean Day in El Paso County, Texas.
Good morning. I also get the honor of reading this into the record. I know Coach McLean, where are you? Would you step up and join us? And I know you are also joined by Julio Lopez, the athletic coordinator. Will you join us? And Mr. Boatwright, the principal. Thank you very much for joining us this morning. I'm going to read this into the record, then we'll vote on it. Hopefully, it'll be a good vote.
Cross our fingers.
Yeah. Whereas Coach Michael McLean is currently a dedicated teacher and outstanding coach for the Isleta Independent School District, and whereas Coach McLean has taught anatomy, physiology, and coached cross country and track in El Paso for 27 years, 18 of which have been at Eastwood High School. Coach McLean was named Teacher of the Year at Eastwood in 2016-17 school year and made the top 5 secondary teacher finalists for the district. And whereas Coach McLean has won a total of 23 district cross-country championships, a total of 14 district track championships, and 3 region cross-country championships, leading the majority of these victories at Eastwood High School. And whereas Coach McLean has led 2 state medalist cross-country teams, man, those are tongue twisters, one being the only team in El Paso history to medal in 6A division in 2017 and a state championship in 5A division in 2018. And whereas in 2018, Eastwood qualified both boys and girls teams to state, something not done in El Paso since 2006. Whereas in 2018, the Troopers defeated all teams from 5 different states, including all teams from Texas, from all divisions, 1A through 6A, and private schools, becoming the first ever team in El Paso to qualify for Nike Cross Nationals. Now, therefore, be it resolved by the El Paso County Judge and Commissioners Court that February 11th, 2019 be known as Coach Michael McLean Day. Signed this 11th day of February 2019 by the honorable members of Commissioners Court.
Second.
Commissioner Perez?
Aye.
Commissioner Leon?
Aye.
Commissioner Stout?
Aye.
Commissioner Robinson?
Aye.
Judge Samaniego?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Coach McLean, before you speak, I know that I share these thoughts with the entire court, but what a record you have, and more especially the mere fact that you are mentoring all these young adults into becoming successful citizens, whether they stay in El Paso or go to other places. So a tremendous accomplishment on the field and especially off the field. So, podium is yours.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you for naming a day after me, and I guess I need to thank President Trump for coming on my day as well. So, if you've been anywhere on the east side of town, you've seen my runners probably running everywhere, and again, it comes down to the kids and their hard work. And we set a goal in 2011 to make it to the Nike cross championships and to be the first El Paso team to do that. And doing so, my team hasn't been beaten in 9 years in El Paso, and these kids work so hard, and they are also good people and good citizens. And I can't express my gratitude enough for you recognizing me and them for this accomplishment. Thank you.
Well, congratulations. I know that your principal is here, and he's promised us a tour. What a beautiful school that's turning into. I go by there every day, and wow. So the floor is yours.
Stop by anytime. You're more than welcome. It's coming along great. But we're extremely proud of Coach McLean and his teams. He's done an outstanding job. He serves the students well, and he's an ambassador for our community, and we're lucky to have him. So we look forward to next year. The pressure's on him to repeat, but I'm guaranteed that's going to happen. So go get him, Coach.
Thank you. Mr. Lopez? Again, congratulations.
You know, we do so much to bring the right image to our community, and, you know, we're so proud of our community. Coach McCain and all the youth that are here today, I don't think we could parallel that with people understanding who El Paso is. They hear about us. You get to go to other parts of Texas, and so helping this image is so much a part of what we're trying to accomplish. So thank you very much for what you do, and yourselves as well, and of course the young youth there that are right behind you, motivated and ready to step up for El Paso as well. So thank you so much for that.
Item 4C, approve and adopt a resolution designating February as El Paso Children's Hospital Birthday Month in El Paso County, Texas.
All right. Good morning, Judge and Commissioners. I have the honor of reading this resolution. I know we have some folks from El Paso Children's. We have the CEO, Dr. Stout, Taylor Moreno. We have a board member, Amy Ross, out there. Can you all, and I know we also have a family and one of the patients at the hospital. If y'all want to come up as I read the resolution, and then we can hear from you. Whereas there are over 5,750 hospitals in the United States, but fewer than 250 specialize in pediatrics. El Paso Children's Hospital, EPCH, provides the highest level of pediatric care in West Texas and southern New Mexico. Since opening in 2012, El Paso Children's Hospital has been a part of over 100,000 children's lives, providing round-the-clock pediatric care. And whereas the hospital has celebrated many achievements over the past 7 years, including becoming the only hospital in El Paso affiliated with the Children's Miracle Network, and earning accreditation from both the Joint Commission and College of American Pathologists, its greatest accomplishment lies in the ability to keep children where they belong, close to home. And whereas before the hospital's inception, nearly 650 pediatric patients a year had to leave the area for treatment, but in less than a decade, El Paso Children's Hospital has successfully decreased the need for kids to travel for pediatric subspecialty and surgical care by 80%. And whereas the not-for-profit hospital houses the first and only all-inclusive pediatric craniofacial program in the region, a level 4 NICU, and the Southwest University Pediatric Blood and Cancer Center, affiliated with the largest pediatric oncology group in the world, Children's Oncology Group, or the COG, which has already served over 300 families. From diabetes to cancer, the tougher the sickness, the harder El Paso Children's Hospital fights for local kids, leaving them with less worry and more time to do what they do best, be kids. Whereas after celebrating 7 years in El Paso, the hospital's mantra, "This is our hospital," rings true as they expand care for kids across this region. And now, therefore, be it resolved by the Paso County Judge and Commissioners Court that February 2019 shall be known as El Paso Children's Hospital Birthday Month. Signed this 11th day of February 2019, the Honorable County Commissioners Court.
Second.
Commissioner Bettis?
Aye.
Commissioner Leon?
Aye.
Commissioner Stout?
Aye.
Commissioner Robinson?
Aye.
Judge Samaniego?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Good morning. Thank you, Commissioners. We very much appreciate being in front of you here today. Want to introduce you a little bit to some of our team behind me. One of our El Paso Children's Hospital board members, Amy Ross, is here with us.
Amy.
She's very instrumental in ensuring the success of the hospital, as well as our other 8 board members. We also have our team behind me, the El Paso Children's Hospital team, that really it is a phenomenal team that I've been saying has been almost like a best kept secret in the city and this whole region. One of the things that we embarked upon this last year is ensuring that people throughout our county, as well as the southern New Mexico and West Texas region, really understand the purpose and the dedication of a truly dedicated, not-for-profit children's hospital. So we're very blessed to be able to have the support of you all, as well as many of our individuals throughout the community. We also have one of our little patients here today. Andrea, will you wave to everyone?
Hi, Andrea.
Andrea Valdivia, who's here with her mom and her family. In 2018, Andrea had a very critical surgery for her skull, relieving pressure on her brain, saving her eyesight, and possibly her life by our cranial and facial team headed up by our medical director, Dr. David Yates. In the past, this would not have been a surgery that would have been able to be performed here in El Paso. Again, with all of the foundation and all of the great subspecialists that we have at our El Paso Children's Hospital, we're able to deliver that care to our children here in our community. With El Paso Children's Hospital, when it first opened its doors in 2012, it quickly became a landmark event for El Paso and the surrounding communities as the only dedicated not-for-profit children's hospital. And over the past 7 years, we've quickly become rooted in the community, changing children's health care for the better. During this past year, we've had a lot of successes. We've shared many of those with you all through this last year as we've completed our reports. But we also recently opened up our diabetes outpatient education services, which includes receiving recognition from the American Diabetes Association for quality diabetes self-management education and support services. Again, the only one that's designated as such within the El Paso County. We also added a BioFire technology that helps us to diagnose quickly for infectious diseases, for gastrointestinal and respiratory illnesses, the only one here in the El Paso County again. We opened up our first outpatient hospital-based clinic for pre- and post-surgical visits, and we expanded our emergency room because we wanted to make sure that we had access for all the children to get in to be seen by the specialists. We also added a therapeutic arts program, which allows our children to express themselves and be able to learn and to deal with their diseases, disorders, or their illnesses in a way that helps them to heal quicker. We're very much excited for the future of El Paso Children's Hospital, and thank you for allowing us to celebrate it here today for our 7th birthday. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I just want to say, thank you to all of you for what you do. I know that I was at the opening of the hospital. I worked for Senator Rodriguez back then, and I remember he was invited to speak, and I thought, what an amazing facility, and just so proud to have something like that here in El Paso. And though there's been some difficulties, I think that the testament, the work that your staff and the work that y'all have done is a testament to wanting to make sure that this community continues to have what you all offer it, and everybody has worked so hard to make sure that this hospital is successful as possible. And so I really want to thank you all for your hard work and dedication. I think that it's a very special place. I always enjoy going to visit. Last time I got to see Bella the dog, and how how she brings such joy to the patients there, and just some great programming. And that's El Paso. So thank you so much for everything that you all do.
Thank you, Commissioner Stout.
The Children's Hospital has to be the biggest community victory that I can think of. Just the rallying of the community, the understanding, the courage of, like Andrea, your courage. We thank you so much for your courage. I was born 100 yards away with a midwife from R.E. Thomason, which will tell you how far we've gone, right? Because I'm 100 yards away and we still decide to have a midwife. Something was wrong with that picture. So if anybody understands where we were and where we are now, and compared to any children's hospital. Cindy, I think you've done a tremendous job with your team. But once again, I really believe that was a community victory that represents the type of community that we have here in El Paso. So thank you so much for that. Thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
Item 4D, approve and adopt a resolution recognizing the El Paso Bandits youth football team for their American Youth Football Association's national championship victory.
I also have the honor of reading this resolution into the record. You know, this is another example of our youth here in El Paso really putting El Paso on the map and continuing to shine that positive light on El Paso. I think that it's just amazing how lucky we are to have such great programs here and talented young folks that are going not just to through the rest of Texas, but also across the nation and really giving us a good name. And so I'm going to have the team come up here to the podium, the coach and the parents as well. As I read the resolution, and then we can hear from y'all. Whereas the El Paso Bandits are a youth football team for children 13 years and old and under, and whereas the El Paso Bandits were the first team from El Paso to win the American Youth Football Association's national championship, beating the Parkland Warriors, a team from Baltimore, Maryland, with a final score of 12-6 in December of 2018, and whereas the road to the championship was long and hard fought, with the Bandits traveling throughout the country to compete for the title of national champions, and whereas they earned their spot in the championship game by winning the Badlands Conference and defeating teams from Albuquerque, Dallas, Southern California, and Rhode Island, and whereas the American Youth Football National Tournament included over 130 football teams representing 8 regions throughout the United States, and now therefore be it resolved by the Paso County Judge and Commissioner's Court that the County of El Paso recognize the El Paso Bandits for their victory, their spirit of dedication to football, and for representing El Paso County nationally. Signed this 11th day of February 2019.
Second.
Commissioner Perez?
Aye.
Commissioner Leon?
Aye.
Commissioner Stout?
Aye.
Commissioner Robinson?
Aye.
Judge Samaniego?
Aye.
Motion carries.
All right, who's going to be the spokesperson? So we have Melissa and Dante Leach, I think, who are going to speak. Thank you very much for being here.
Your Honor, Commissioners of the Court, we'd like to thank you for recognizing these student athletes, dedicated parents, and volunteers. This team, the El Paso Bandits, are a special group. These multi-sport student athletes epitomize the industriousness, tenacity, resilience, and humbleness of who we are as residents of El Paso County. They overcame significant financial challenges, were outsized, and entered contest as the underdog on their journey to becoming our national champions. They are in unique territory, only sharing the title of El Paso National Championship Team, Texas Western. They're able to say what very few football players and coaches cannot. We beat a team from Dallas. Badlands American Youth Football of El Paso, Texas is an all-volunteer, community-led 501c3 nonprofit organization. Our league has the capacity to send more than 600 youth football players, cheerleaders, volunteers, and small business owners throughout the nation to showcase El Paso's athletic, academic, and industrial excellence. Looking forward, we want to bring this unique opportunity to more student athletes and community members and allow them to showcase our greatness on a national scale. Thank you again for this deserving recognition.
My name is Adrian Serrano. I'm the head coach of the 13 under El Paso Bandits. First of all, I'd like to thank you for allowing us to be here. This is exciting stuff for all of our kids. They're not really used to this, so the recognition is truly deserved. But we appreciate it. As we traveled through not just Texas but Las Vegas and the rest of the nation, we were the underdogs coming from El Paso. On the West Coast, people have heard of us on, going a little further east past Houston and stuff that, we're not really known out there, but it was, we're not the underdogs anymore. And we hope we made El Paso proud. And just like El Paso, we're not the underdogs anymore. So thank you so much. We do ask you to continue to work with the city, with local rec leagues, local private leagues, sport leagues to help encourage these kids to stay in sports, because if you look behind me, we have some great student athletes. I can honestly say most of them are earning all A's and B's. They're recognized by their schools, which is the reason that they let them out for a full week for us to travel to Florida, because they all had such outstanding grades that they knew they weren't going to miss a beat and take care of their work while they were out. So thank you so much once again.
Would y'all like to can we have all the players and their parents just come up to the podium and introduce themselves and tell us what position you played and how many points you scored and all that good stuff?
Hi. I'm Erica, but they call me Biggie. Yeah. Is that it?
Erica, she was our only girl on the team this year, and she represents the northeast part of our city.
Good for you.
I played the tackle for offense. Yeah.
Thank you. Congratulations.
Yeah. I'm done.
Hello, I'm Antonio Gomez. They call me Killer on this team. I play safety.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Hello, my name is Dallas Salazar, and I play defensive tackle for his team.
My name is Jacob Ledesma, and I play running back and defensive end.
My name is Diego Salazar, and I played safety for this team.
You guys aren't brothers, are you?
We're twins.
I'm Gailo Ochoa, and I'm the quarterback for El Paso Bandits.
I'm Hector Hinojosa, and I'm running back and nose tackle.
Hi, I'm Francisco Solis, and I play right guard. I'm Ismael Serrano, and I play center defensive end.
Is that it?
We didn't miss anybody?
Well, thank you all very much. Round of applause. And can we have you all come up so we can shake your hands?
Just, can I make a comment here real quick? Just want to make a comment to you guys. Can I make a comment real quick? Do you guys realize what you've done? You got to feel it. You got to feel everything that you've done, because there's not one challenge going forward that's going to be an obstacle for you. So you have to take what you've done, really understand it, get it in your heart, and there's nothing, and especially your academic part, okay? That you got to make that part work as well. So thank you so much. I'm glad you're feeling it, but you got to feel it, okay? Thank you.
1, 2, and... So we go back. Good job. Thank you. Ms. Robinson?
Thank you.
Item 4E, approve and adopt a resolution asking President Donald J. Trump to meet with local officials to become properly informed about our great and safe region during his visit to El Paso County, Texas.
All right, this is the last resolution you'll hear from me this morning, but it's an important one. Whereas the President of the United States of America, Donald Trump, has continuously made inaccurate claims about the United States southern border, including El Paso. And whereas President Trump's administration disseminated false information to local elected officials across the nation regarding its perceived need for border security funding priorities, including calling the way of life on the U.S.-Mexico border a crisis situation. And whereas data from Customs and Border Protection, CBP, illustrates that no crisis exists, reporting that fiscal year 2017 was the lowest level of illegal cross-border migration on record. And whereas President Trump has claimed that thousands of terrorists have been apprehended at the southern border, another gross piece of misinformation that CBP has clarified. And whereas despite the Trump administration's effort to vilify the southern border and those entering the United States, the facts continue to dispute those claims, with the new Pew Research Center reporting that border apprehensions throughout 2018 were much lower than apprehensions throughout the 80s, 90s, and 2000s. And whereas during a recent conference call with local elected officials, the president continued to refer to El Paso as a previously dangerous city and that the only option available to protect this nation is the construction of a border wall. And whereas during his State of the Union address, President Trump falsely stated that El Paso was one of the most dangerous cities in the United States until the construction of border fencing, yet another lie that was quickly disputed by residents and members of our local law enforcement agencies. El Paso's violent crime rate dropped 62% from its peak in 1993 to 2007, which was a year before construction of the fence. And whereas family separation policies and threats to close the southern border are not only immoral, but they will ultimately bankrupt our nation's economy and our moral fiber. And whereas we remain upset that neither the president nor administration officials have reached out to local elected officials or law enforcement entities to correctly inform themselves about El Paso and our borderland. And whereas the president will hold a political rally today at the El Paso County Coliseum, where it is possible that false statements about El Paso will continue to be made. Now, therefore, be it resolved by the El Paso County Judge and Commissioner's Court that the County of El Paso is disillusioned by President Trump's lies regarding the border and our community, and though it is difficult to welcome him to El Paso while he continues to proliferate such untruths, we do welcome him to meet with local officials to become properly informed about our great and safe region. Second. Thank you.
Commissioner Perez?
Aye.
Commissioner Leon?
Aye.
Commissioner Stout?
Aye.
Commissioner Robinson?
Aye.
Judge Samaniego?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you all very much. And I know that as Judge Samaniego alluded to, we will be participating in a press conference at 12:30 at the Chamizal with other elected officials. I know that the county judge and that Commissioner Leon will be speaking on behalf of us here at the county, and so we have this mandate for you all to go and make sure that the nation and the world understand what El Paso is and why we're doing this.
Thank you, Commissioner Stout. Commissioner Robinson?
Thank you, Commissioner Stout, for your resolution. I'm not originally from El Paso, but I am from El Paso. El Paso is my home. I was raised in Cleveland, Ohio, I came to, and I was in the military, and I came to El Paso in 1977 from Honolulu, Hawaii. I raised a family here. One of the reasons that I decided to stay here and raise my family in El Paso because of the fact that El Paso was a great place to live, enjoy, and grow and raise a family, and as well as enjoy the cuisine, just the overall atmosphere. You know, and I, in my previous position as an elected official on the city council of El Paso, I traveled other parts of the state of Texas and encountered other elected officials, and they talk about the incidents and crime that they have in their cities. I recall one year we was at a state conference, and a certain individual was running for president, and he talked about bombs going off on the border. And I shook my head and I said, what bombs are you talking about? What border are you talking about? Not the border that I live on. So even at the height of the situation that happened across the border in Juarez, we didn't have those problems here in El Paso, and we never have. So this one elected official, you know, talked about how many murders that he had in his district in 1 month. And I come in, I said, you had that many in 1 month? I said, and I think it was like 9 or 10. And I said, we didn't have that many in the whole year. So how can you, people from other parts of Texas and other parts of the nation, talk about El Paso being a bad place to live? I said, one thing, you've never been here. And number two, I invite you to come to El Paso and see what El Paso is all about. But El Paso is a great place. And I'd be remiss if I don't say that through the dedication of our law enforcement, our police department, our sheriff department, the great job that they did and they continue to do, that's why we are and have been one of the safest cities in the nation, El Paso.
Thank you, Commissioner.
You know, I just, Judge, if I may add, and I will be saying these same words when we have our press conference. I spent 30 years with the El Paso Police Department, and I lived it, I saw it, I was there. And El Paso, I'm very proud, number one, of the community. They are the reason that we're such a safe city. And teamed up with a great law enforcement presence that we have, both El Paso Police, the Sheriff's Department, Border Patrol, all other federal agencies have been able to keep this city safe and will continue to keep this city safe. So I'm proud to be part of this court, proud to be representing part of El Paso this afternoon. So thank you.
And thank you for doing that, Commissioner Leon.
And I'll be sending a copy of this resolution to the Governmental Affairs Liaison at the White House once Mr. Robinson signs it, and we can send it over. Thank you all very much for your support.
Thank you.
Item 4F. Approve and adopt a resolution declaring Saturday, February 23, 2019 as El Paso History Day in El Paso County, Texas.
Mrs. Sutherland? And others? Well, I have the honor of presenting this resolution. History means a lot to El Paso, so I'm very, very honored by this. Whereas the 22nd Annual El Paso History Day is scheduled for Saturday, February 23rd, 2019 at the University of Texas at El Paso, and whereas El Paso History Day is an exciting educational program that allows middle and high school students throughout the El Paso region to develop their research, analytical, and communication skills which will help them now and in the future. And whereas El Paso Day is an exciting way for students to acquire historical perspective and knowledge about local, regional, national, and global historical issues, ideas, people, and events. Whereas El Paso History Day offers teachers a proven tool to meet social studies, literacy, and language arts standards and provides them with an assessment tool that engages students in history and makes them excited about learning. Whereas based on this year's theme, Triumph and Tragedy in History. Nearly 400 students will compete in one of 5 categories: exhibits, documentaries, performances, websites, and papers. And whereas first and second place winners in each category at El Paso History Day qualify for the Texas History Day contest in Austin in April, and first and second place winners at Texas History Day advance to National History Day in College Park, Maryland in June. Now therefore be it resolved that the El Paso County Judge and Commissioners Court do hereby declare Saturday, February the 23rd, 2019 as El Paso History Day, signed this 11th day of February 2019. Thank you.
Second.
Commissioner Perez?
Aye.
Commissioner Leon?
Aye.
Commissioner Stout?
Aye.
Commissioner Robinson?
Aye.
Judge Samaniego?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Commissioners, Judge, thank you so much for the resolution recognizing February 23rd as El Paso History Day. Of course, we invite everybody to join us at UTEP on that day for the competition and the awards to area students. And on a day where I think everybody is going to be speaking about how proud they are of El Paso, obviously our very unique history is part of that pride as well. So thank you for this resolution.
Thank you. Anybody else want to?
I would just like to say thank you to each of you and point out that I drove to this meeting this morning on the Camino Real de Tierra Adentro, our national trail. And last week I was at a meeting on the Mission Trail about preservation of the missions and heritage tourism. And most people in our community don't realize that and don't understand the breadth and depth of our history. I'm chair of the El Paso County Historical Commission's Outreach Committee, and one of our goals has been to try to educate the community and especially the youth. And our success in working collaboratively with History Day is an example of our beginning of progress. So I'd like to introduce Dr. Brad Cartwright, who's the chair of the program this year.
Thank you.
So thank you, Judge. Thank you, Commissioners, for this resolution. El Paso History Day is something that's very near and dear to me. As director, and our former director, Dr. Charles Martin, couldn't be here this morning, but he's run the program for the previous 20 some odd years. And it's just a great opportunity to get area teachers and students involved in history. And learning skills that are the skills of a historian, but that translate to whatever career path they choose. And so I'm very excited to have been able to invite one of our area teachers, Isabel Mora from Valle Verde Early College High School, who has been one of our superstars, and she's brought one of her students with her.
Good morning, Judge and Commissioners. Thank you so much for the opportunity to talk about National History Day. I'm Isabel Mora. I've taught history in the Isleta Independent School District for 21 years now. I teach at Valle Verde Early College High School, and the National History Day year-long project-based instructional program is the crux of the course that I teach. I teach something that's relatively new. It's called dual credit. So a high school student can earn college credit while taking the course. So the instructional challenge is how to guide them to the highest mastery for the standardized tests, but also reach for the rigor of a college course. And the curriculum and instructional program from National History Day provides me with a structure and the space to integrate all of these goals and challenges. And so I'm just thrilled I think the biggest achievement of this endeavor is that it takes a singular classroom with one teacher, and it puts us inside of a network of professional learning communities that include El Paso Community College, University of Texas at El Paso, Austin Community College, UT Austin, and the sponsors of NHD, such as the National Endowment for Humanities, the Texas State Historical Association. That creates an umbrella of a huge network for teachers and students in El Paso to work inside of. It is a priceless type of support. It helps my students overcome geographical and economic barriers that distance us from flagship institutions in our nation and in our state. So I am just thrilled. It changed my life as a history teacher. I try to teach teachers in my district and everywhere I go about this opportunity. And once again, thank you so much for this opportunity to explain that to you.
Thank you, Mrs. Mora.
Okay, and this is Sofia Salcedo. This is going to be her second year competing.
So I think that the National History Day thing is like really cool, not just because it's history, right? And I think history is amazing because I'm a bit of a nerd, but also because it gives you the chance to put all of your interests into one project. So for example, I really love to sing. So this year and last year, my projects have involved singing. Last year, it involved civil rights and singers. This year, it involves spirituals. And in both years, I really love it because I kind of just take this idea that's like, oh, music, and I turn it into something that's history, that I can say, I know this, and these people did this, and they went through this, and because of this, this happened, and now the world is like this. And it's really super interesting, and it allows me to learn a lot more about history and a lot more about, you know, like kind of my place in history. And it allows you to be more aware of current events because you can say, hey, you know, that's been happening for like years and years and years, so we've got to change this. Or you can say, hey, we've changed this, we've come so far. Like, isn't that amazing? So, yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much for your passion. Thank you. Commissioner Stout, would you like to comment? I know history's a big part of your focus. You want to make any comments?
Well, I thank you all so much for doing what you're doing. I think, you know, I think that our Historic Commission is one of the most important boards that we have, advisory boards that we have, and you know, over the past couple of years, you know, I think that El Paso County has really gotten on it when it comes to history and historic preservation and trying to really to start taking inventory and to start looking at all of the assets that we have here in El Paso so that we can start talking about them a little bit more when you know, when we're trying to attract people here. Of course, tourism is something that's very important, and people spend a lot more money on heritage tourism and looking at historic sites than they do on any other type of tourism in the country. And so it's so important. You know, I want to obviously thank Commissioner Perez because he really helped push the you know, putting up the markers on the Camino Real de Tierra Adentro, no, and that was definitely something that he should be proud of, and obviously a lot of it's in his precinct, and which helps a lot with taking tourism and attracting more tourism to that part of our community. And you know, it's amazing to hear that that we have this partnership with Valle Verde, and you know, having students that are so passionate about history. You know, if we don't understand where we come from, we can never understand where we're going. I know that a lot of people have said that, and I don't know who was the first one, but I think it definitely makes sense. And so thank you for your passion. And, you know, if you ever want to come and share some of your songs with us, I think that would be great too. We'd love to hear that as well. So thank you, Judge, and thank you all. Thank you for the resolution, and thank you all for doing this. Let's keep working together to highlight our history and make sure that people understand who we are and where we come from.
I think the continuation of our young adults being able to understand, because even some of us that born and raised here have not really captured the essence of what we have, this gem, this history that can be probably one of our greatest economic drivers. But to see young adults getting excited, and thank you, Ms. Mora, for having that passion, and thank you, Ms. Sutherland, for coming up here and talking about this. So we thank you so much for, once again, we're working on the image of El Paso County, and what better, we got the sports today. I mean, today was an exciting day, you know, national championships and Coach of the Year, and then history. I mean, that makes El Paso, that's all the dimensions that has made El Paso a great place to live in. Thank you so much. Yes, Ms. Mora.
If I may, I would like to thank the Historical Association of El Paso. So I talked about this umbrella of organizations that support us, and I failed to make that connection with them who are here today. So I'd like to correct that. And thank you so very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you.
Item number 5, public comment. I don't believe we have anybody signed up to speak, Judge.
Yeah, no one signed up for public comments. Jessica.
Item number 5, no action. Item number 6, presentation. Receive a presentation from the Housing Authority of the City of El Paso on the Rental Assistance Demonstration Program.
Good morning, Commissioners, County Judge.
Good morning, Mr. Sean.
Nice to see you all again. Normally we do this quarterly. However, my public information officer has sought other employment, so it falls upon me. And I know we've been remiss in not being here for an update, but we just done an update for City Council, and I thought it was a great opportunity to come to you and let you know kind of what's happened through 2018 and where we are right now with RAT. So with that, if I could have the next slide. So as you know, RAD is about a $1.3 billion investment inside our community. Not one penny of this is taxpayer money. We don't raise taxes. We're not a taxing entity. This is all done through public-private partnerships. It's the relocation of approximately 6,400 families, or about 20,000 people, and it has created about 5,000 jobs. Now, the only way that I thought it made the most sense was to put this into dollars for you all, to show you exactly kind of what happened financially within the last 12 months. Can I have the next slide, please? So, as per your district, you can see, we have added about $145 million in finished housing. Of that, you have 3 of them were in Commissioner Stout's, 1 was in Commissioner Robinson, 3 were in Commissioner Leon's, and 1 was in Mr. Pettit's. So that is just what we finished construction on. And as you know, we can't be late. If we're late, the regulations of the Uniform Relocation Act mandate that we pay each family $20,000 and also the loss of tax credits. So we're actually running massive amounts of construction all over the city, and we're doing it timely and within budget. Next page, please. So just in 2018, this is the money we raised to invest in our community. It's a total of $425 million. Now, as you look up there, you see a lot of this in Commissioner Stout's district. The reason for that is because when we were created in 1939, these were the areas of the community that existed at that time. So you have a massive amount of investment in the older communities because that was where we were first created. So when you look it up there on the right-hand side also, you see 3 of them with H's. H means historic. So those 3 buildings are going to be built back with the historic construct, which limits what we can do, but it has also allowed us to raise a lot more money in redevelopment dollars. And so that's why when you look at those, you see that they're significantly higher, because the cost of redoing something historically is quite expensive. So in total, it's 1,912 families or homes that we're actually rebuilding. Next slide, please. Hopefully in the next 6 months, we plan on finishing another, or not finishing, but at least closing financially another $167 million. The largest one, and will be the largest and most expensive one to date, will be Taze North. Taze North is right over in the Chamazal, right next to Taze South, which is the new 9% that we had built over there. So it's 270 units. This is 1943 construction. The difficulty with this, even though it has historic, is the infrastructure coming in is so limiting, and it's built on clay, that to fix these units, we're going to have to do slant helix in order to shore up the foundations in this. It is all asbestos. It is all lead-based paint. You have a phasing of 3 different phases. This is actually over 2 years to actually do this construction as we rotate amongst the units. This has been over a year and a half in planning this construction based upon how difficult that this is. The nice thing is we have a very large construction company, which is Sunt. They've been around since 1890. And so with their assistance, we're quite confident that we can take this on and actually succeed with this. And so can you flip to the next slide, please? So I think you guys all know who you are. No need to discuss that. Can you flip to the next one, please? So what we're going to do here is this is a video. And so this is Gonzales on the far east side of town off of Rich Beam. This is 180 brand new units. This is state-of-the-art construction. This is a high opportunity neighborhood with fantastic schools, transportation, and opportunity for jobs. We have 3 separate playgrounds built on this site, which is actually a full basketball court, and 2 additionally covered playgrounds for the children. And this is one of the inside of the units. As you can see, everything is brand new, state-of-the-art, and we also believe very, very durable. We also are building everything with open floor plans, and with our ADA units, they're convertible, so that everything can be roll-in showers or walk-in showers. This is a picture of our community center. The residents can rent these areas, and this is our office space. Blue Flame is one that we're halfway done with. This is actually the 15th floor. This is what is the office space is going to be at. These are the views from the 15th floor that can be seen. This is a $53 million construction project. These are 120 elderly and or disabled units. Every single one of these units is convertible, which means depending upon whatever disability that you find, it'll be modified for that disability. The Blue Flame and the outside of the building will be lit up, and it will be grand in the middle of the night. This is Madonna. This is our recent 9% on the west side of town. This is off I-10 behind the Coles. As you can see, we have the buildings coming out of the ground right here. This will be ready by January 1 of next year. This is what it's going to look like. You can see the green space in the center of the community with ample parking. Thank you. And so on the next pages, I'm not going to necessarily go through them. There's actually a breakdown of your respective districts. Within those districts, you can see what we did in 2018 and 2019. And you can do the last slide, please. And so these are the communities across the city that we're building. Right now, by June, we'll have 25 sites under actual construction. And we'll be moving over 2,000 families to make this a reality. And so we're quite excited. Our team is doing a fantastic job. I don't think you're getting many complaints. If you have any contact with your constituents or concerns, please let me know. I myself am open to it. We have, due to the relocation of the families, which is actually the most difficult, you have many families that are being moved outside of hospital districts, outside of school districts, moving areas where they can't walk to work, where they don't have any cars. So we have to have a very robust information and surveys that have to go into this in order to make sure that the considerations of each family are taken as the relocation actually transpires. Most families, when they are moved, will be moved from the location for approximately 12 months until they're able to actually return back to the community, or they can choose where they can stay where they are. They have an absolute right to make that decision upon their own. And with that, that's the end of my RAD update, and any questions that you all might have.
Commissioners?
Nope. Okay, so we weren't included in the El Paso Inc.'s, crane-worthy stuff, which is kind of disappointing. The $1.2 billion, they talked about the highway, we actually exceed that. So we're actually bigger than what you're seeing that's happening out there within your highways in actual construction dollars and family impositions. Okay, if anybody has any questions at all, any concerns with your constituents, please contact me or my staff. We'll make sure we get back to you quite quickly.
Thank you, Mr. Shishan.
Thank you very much. I hope you all have a great day.
Thank you. Likewise.
Item number 7, board appointments. Discuss and take appropriate action to reappoint Commissioner Carl L. Robinson's nominee, David Porter, to the Ethics Commission for a 2-year term beginning February 1st, 2019 through January 31st, 2021.
Judge, Commissioners, Mr. Porter has completed, actually his training is current. He was recently appointed to fulfill an unexpired term on the Ethics Commission. We're asking with the support of Commissioner Robinson for his reappointment.
Yes, Judge and Commissioners, coming in, it's very important that we have qualified people, trained people to serve on our ethics commissions. I know that the county has done a great job over the years, recent years anyway, to clean up some of the problems they had in the past. So I want to make sure that we have competent people, and I motion that we accept this nomination.
Second.
Commissioner Perez?
Aye.
Commissioner Leon?
Aye.
Commissioner Stout?
Aye.
Commissioner Robinson?
Aye.
Judge Samaniego?
Aye.
Motion carries. Item number 8, auditor. Pursuant to the Texas Government Code, Title 10, Section 225(6.003), please accept the attached investment report for the period ended December 31st, 2018.
Good morning, Judge, Commissioners. Jim Utterback, County Auditor's Office, Financial Reporting. Here to go through is our directly linked to the county strategic plan. Our goal is sound county government, financially sound county government, investing funds on principles of safety, liquidity, diversification, and our third goal is return on investment. We have here is our investment maturity right now is December 31st of 2018. We have 171 million in tax pool prime. We have 5.45 million in tax pool and 40 million in the bank. Compared to December of last year of 2017, we had is 118 million in prime, 26 million in tax pool, and 71 million in the bank. As you can, excuse me. As you can see, our interest rates, the 10-year averaged is at 2.5%. 5-year is at 1.7. 2-year at 0.97. Tax pool at 0.5. Tax pool prime at 0.61. And this is averaging over a 10-year average. Advantage Bank, which used to be our international bank, at 0.75. Their interest rates 10 years ago were a lot higher at the bank than they are now. That's why they have their average is higher. Federal Reserve increased the Fed funds rate to from 2.25% to 2.5% on December 20th of this year. This gives the yields of our current markets as of the end of December. Is Texas class was at 2.5. Tax pool prime is at 2.49. Tax pool at 2.28. and Vantage Bank at 0.23%. One of the reasons we do not invest in Texas class, 97% of their investments are in commercial paper, compared to 37% in taxable prime, which gives us better security as far as the safety of the investments. Commercial, and I will show you later in the presentation the differences. Taxable prime. Our next one, and I have to apologize, I put in is the government class breakdown, not the Texas class prime. As you can see, the breakdown on tax pool, commercial paper, 36%. Repurchase agreements, 29%. Variable rate notes, 25%. And money market funds, 8%. And then tax pool, their investments are agencies, 42%, repurchase agreements, 37%, treasuries, 15%, money market funds, 4%. This is a comparison of our weighted average yield of 2.065% as of December 31st to the 90-day Treasury benchmark of 2.41%. The county being behind by 34 basis points, and that's because the investments in the pools take time to catch up, and also is with the low interest in the bank that drags down our yield. This is a comparison of our combined funds. As you can see, October, November, we're still going down slightly in the amounts that we have there. In December, at the end of December, it comes back up. And our lowest point was December 11th, where we had bank balance of $5.3 million. We had tax pool of prime of $119 million and tax pool of $12 million. Excuse me. Tax pool is $5.3 million. The bank was $12.7 million. So we had 3.89% in tax pool, 86.81% in tax pool prime, and 9.3% in bank. And typically is what happens is we get our ad valorem tax in. We got large amounts in the last week of December, and that's what brought the bank balance up. General fund, this is balances. October we had 76 million. November 69 million. At the end of December is 121 million. The debt service, again, is it goes up as our ad valorem tax is being collected. In October, we had 2.1 million. November, we had 2.7 million. And December, 9.7 million. Our capital projects, as we expend funds down, and we don't have any bond issues right now where we're adding money to it. We have just the money that we transfer over from M&O for the 1 cent capital improvements. That transfer will happen in March. So we draw it down. Breakdown of our investments by type, by fund type. We have 121 million in general fund, 39 million in capital projects, 28 million in special revenue, agency funds 3.8 million, internal service 5.8, enterprise 2.7 million, and debt service 9.7. Let's give you a little example of what our investment risks are. Currently, our policy allows us to invest in money market funds, local government investment pools, treasuries, treasury notes, government-sponsored enterprises, that's Federal Home Loan Bank, the Freddie Macs, Fannie Mae's, state and local government obligations within the state of Texas. Ones that are not allowed are secured corporate debt, unsecured corporate debt, domestic stocks, foreign bonds, and foreign stocks. Commercial paper falls into that unsecured corporate debt. This gives you an example of what the Treasury rates were as of January 31st compared to the benchmark agency bullets and what our tax pool prime and tax pool rates were. Questions?
Commissioners? Commissioner Bettis?
So we have an item later on in the agenda for an investment advisor. I guess what's going to be their scope of work in terms? Are they going to take a comprehensive look at all this and identify other opportunities where we could be investing? Is that part of what
you would have to have budget and your county administrator answer to?
Good morning, Wally Hargrove from the Office of Budget and Fiscal Policy. Yes, sir. The scope of their service will be to look at our current practices, look at all opportunities, look at our risk tolerances, those investments that are permissible by local government code, and also looking at a policy review and providing recommendations to us. Just for a note, when we hit item 16 today, that item will be tabled for 2 weeks, and action will be taken in 2 weeks, but that will be one of their responsibilities.
Thank you.
Commissioner Robbins?
Can you talk about the commercial papers again?
Commercial paper is unsecured corporate debt that is issued with a maximum maturity of 270 days. Years ago, we had a local government investment pool get in trouble because they bought PG&E commercial paper. The next day, it was classified to junk status. It took them 2 years to get that money back out.
So what would you recommend in regards to issuing of commercial papers?
Buying commercial paper, I wouldn't recommend it outside of the pools because I do not have the staff or the equipment to monitor it on a daily basis.
Okay. Where do we stand right now on commercial papers?
Right now, the only way we buy commercial paper is through the investment pools. And the only one that we're invested in right now that has commercial paper is Tex Pool Prime.
And how much is that again?
We have, as of December, about 171 million. 121 million in the general fund. We have 171 million in Tex Pool Prime.
James, can you go back to that slide to show what percentage Tex Pool Prime is holding of commercial paper? I think it was about 26%.
It was 30 something.
Or 36%, and that's what's driving a portion of the increased rate that the prime investment pool offers over just the standard Tex Pool that does not invest in commercial paper.
Right. Right here, it's 36% that they have in commercial paper. Out over all of the parties that invest in Tex Pool Prime.
Okay, so how do we get out from under them? How do we get out from under them?
We could move all of our money to Tex Pool. We could also move money into agencies and security, treasuries.
Okay, so is that what the investment advisor is going to be talking to us about? Is that part of it?
That certainly will be one of the components that as they are reviewing our current practices and opportunities out in the investment market, things for the county's consideration.
Commissioner Robinson, the idea behind the financial advisor is that we've looked at return on investment for other counties, and there seems to be some abilities that we have not capitalized on yet. And so that is what we're looking for them to help us try to capitalize more returns on our investments.
Yeah, certainly we do not, from my perspective anyway, want to take any risk on losing any money.
Yes, sir.
Even if it's just 1 penny.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
Commissioner Pettis.
And also, I mean, this has been an initiative that's been in the works for several years now. At one point, virtually all of our investments were cash. We're just all in the bank, which isn't a very prudent use of taxpayer funds. So I appreciate the efforts that have been made to look at these investment pools so we can get a better return on investment. And the effort to get an investment advisor has been long in the works, and I'm glad to see that that's coming closer to being completed. But there's other counties they have a much more complex and portfolio, and I think they're generating greater returns on investment. And I think we're leaving lots of money on the table when we don't explore all those options. And so I hope that when the investment advisor comes in, that we can get a comprehensive review and better returns on our investment, particularly in this area where we have, where interest rates are going up. I think that there's an opportunity. But and I agree with what you're saying about risk. But at the same time, I think there's opportunities out there that we're just not fully capitalizing on that other counties certainly are. And it would certainly help us to in our budgeting process to help generate more revenue off of those funds. We need a motion to approve this report.
Second.
No, do we need one? No. Okay, move to accept.
Commissioner Pettis.
Yeah.
Aye.
Commissioner Leon.
Aye.
Commissioner Stout.
Aye.
Commissioner Robinson.
Aye.
Judge Samaniego.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you, Commissioners.
Item number 9, Judiciary and Corrections. Approve and authorize the county judge to sign the Youth Center of the High Plains contract for residential services, secure facility for children placed on behalf of the Juvenile Probation Department. The term of this contract is from February 1st, 2019 through September 30th, 2019. Funding is available in special grants TJG DST 18 operating expense, contract number 2019-0026.
Good morning, Judge, Commissioners.
Good morning.
We are just here seeking your approval on this contract to be able to offer services to a youth that we hadn't been able to place within our already contracted facilities.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
Commissioner Pettis.
Aye.
Commissioner Leon.
Aye.
Commissioner Stout.
Aye.
Commissioner Robinson.
Aye.
Judge Samaniego.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Item number 10, Economic Development. Approve and authorize the county judge to sign the interlocal agreement with the City of El Paso to send delegates and actively promote economic development opportunities available in El Paso region during the South by Southwest event in Austin, Texas, from March 10th through March 13, 2019, in the amount of $50,000. Funding is available in Special Revenue Tourist Promotion Operation Expenses General, contract number 2019-0057.
Good morning, Judge, Commissioners.
Good morning.
My name is Adriana Acosta. I'm the Business Retention Coordinator for Economic Development. The purpose of today's agenda is to obtain Commissioners' Court approval for an interlocal agreement between the county and the City of El Paso, which will split the cost to promote economic development opportunities in the El Paso region during the South by Southwest event in Austin, Texas. The county, through Economic Development Department, has teamed up with the City of El Paso, the City of Las Cruces, New Mexico, and the City of Juarez, Mexico, to promote our region for economic development. During the fiscal year 2019, budget sessions, the county approved $50,000 from the Special Revenue Tour Promotion Fund for this event. If approved, this will be the county's third consecutive year joining with the city to highlight the region's positive attributes for economic development and to maximize our networking efforts for local businesses. Today, we are joined by staff members from Destination El Paso and the city who have a short presentation to highlight this year's event. I am pleased to introduce you to Brian Crow, General Manager of Destination El Paso, and Paola Gallegos with the City Economic Development Specialist.
Good morning, Judge, Commissioners. Brian Crow with Destination El Paso. It's my pleasure to present to you just an overview of what our intents are for 2019 South by Southwest. As was mentioned, this will be the third consecutive year that the city and county have jointly partnered to have a presence in Austin during this significant international event. This year, we're pleased that the city of Las Cruces is once again joining us in this effort, as well as Ciudad Juarez is also joining us, which is a first time for them to partner with us on this agreement. So I think, as most of you know, South by Southwest is really a fantastic opportunity for us to showcase our community and all of the different opportunities that exist here in terms of economic development and business development, as well as showcase some of the great features that exist in our community from a tourism and sales perspective as well. I'll just give you a quick overview of our efforts in 2018. The trade show that we participate in is the largest exhibition that's part of the South by Southwest event. In 2018, there were over 735 different trade show exhibitions on the trade show floor representing different countries, and they have attendance of about 75,000. We anticipate the same for 2019 as well. Here is an image from one of the events that we hosted as part of our exhibition in 2018. Both the city and the county together were able to host an event in partnership with Texas Monthly, where we were able to bring together state officials, our local political delegations that were able to participate with us, UTIP alumni that are based in the Austin market, business executives, and national meeting planners that are based in the Austin market to showcase all the different things that are going on in our community at that time. And we also were able to take advantage of media support from Texas Monthly as part of our partnership, and there was a feature article in Texas Monthly about our exhibition. In addition to the expo, we try to take advantage of the fact that we are in the Austin market and that we have a great opportunity to market our community to a lot of people who are visiting Austin from all over the world as part of South by Southwest. One of the ways we do that is through marketing on a host of pedicabs throughout the downtown area. We're once again partnering with Movement Bike Pedicab, and actually the owner is an El Pasoan originally, and so he really loves to work with his home city to be able to help promote our community. This is an example of one of those pedicabs. There are 10 that exist throughout the city during South by Southwest. We're very fortunate that because there's an El Paso owner, he likes to keep the El Paso treatment on the pedicabs actually after South by Southwest leaves town. So we get a great outreach in terms of marketing and promoting our city through this channel. We have about 500 to 600 people that we interact with on the floor of the expo. And a large number of people are folks who have heard of our community or are expats to our community and interested in what's going on in our city. It's a great opportunity for us to have this international exposure, to be able to have a lead generation that then the individual economic development units for the city, the county, other partners such as UTEP, the city of Las Cruces, and Juarez can use for follow-up for those business development leads. We are pleased once again that, as mentioned to you, the city of Las Cruces will be partnering with us. They had an opportunity to connect with a number of different economic development leads as well. And this is an overall approach for us to be able to bring awareness to our community through a number of different channels. For 2019, the date of the show is March 10th through the 13th. We mentioned to you that our new partnership with Juarez as a partner in this year is something we're very excited about, and we'll be continuing having the support of hopefully the county as well as City of Las Cruces, UTEP, and the Borderplex Alliance, as well as the City of El Paso. Here is a sample of what the trade show booth will look like. You can see that we are really focusing on the overall region, our overall borderplex economic area. We're featuring a new full-size video wall, as you can see here on the upper left configuration of the booth. This is a new feature for us this year, which we're going to be excited to be able to showcase a lot of different video information about the city. It gives us a lot more dynamic approach to being able to share things about the community and our different economic development opportunities. You can see we are showcasing Las Cruces, El Paso, and Juarez as a whole, and we're really excited to be able to have the entire one region focus for us for economic development and business development. Here's another sample of some of the graphic treatment that will be shown at the booth. We're highlighting the partnership of all of our different partners, and we're also showcasing the geographic location and a lot of different data about the area. And of course, as we're getting a lot of national attention right now, we couldn't think of a better opportunity and time for us to be able to talk about what the activity and economic activity that exists through our border and how that drives really not only the national economy, but the international economy as well, and how we can showcase the community and the opportunities that we have here that we continue to grow and develop as an economic site. So this agreement that's in front of you today, as I mentioned, this is the third time the city and the county have partnered together. I do want to clarify one of the items here on the slide in front of you. The expenses of the county are capped at $50,000. The city and the county are sharing 50-50 in up to $100,000 in expenses, and so your maximum out on this contract would be $50,000. In the past years, the amount has become slightly less than $50,000, just based on the other sponsorship revenue and control of expenses that we have for the overall expo, and so it's usually in like the $48,000-$49,000 range generally, so just under $50,000. And our organization, Destination El Paso, on behalf of the city and the county, will handle all the logistics and the travel and the efforts behind the exhibition. There's a number of different contracts and subcontracts that we execute on behalf of the partnership, and then we will settle those expenses with the city, and then the city would then invoice the county for their share. With that, I can take any questions, as can Paolo with economic development, if you have any other questions.
Commissioner Leon. Mr. Crow, great presentation.
Thank you. Good morning.
And you all have done a phenomenal job over the last few years out there. But as you know, in our previous conversations, I'm not a fan of South by Southwest. It's a great venue. I'm all for marketing. And I know that we've had disagreements on what has it produced. And I know it's very hard to quantify what actually it does for El Paso. Even the pedal cars, I really like them. But even I think the main thing on the pedal cars is let's ride instead of El Paso. So in my opinion, I don't think that's the best use of taxpayer money. And I might be wrong, but I just don't feel that we should participate. But thank you for your presentation. Great.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Commissioners that participated, would you like to comment?
Yeah, I've participated in the past, and you know, as Commissioner Leon said, sometimes it's hard to quantify the benefits. But I do think that, you know, it's an event that's international. It gets bigger every year. I think every year we've had more and more impressions, more and more conversations with people, and you know, I feel like, you know, we set aside money in the budget to do it again this year, and so I think that we should continue to partner. If we want to have a conversation about not doing it in the future, then we definitely should have that conversation. But I think that since the money's in the budget, and you know, it looks like you know, we want to. I think that we should continue to participate this year, and later on we can have a conversation as to whether or not we want to budget it in the future.
Commissioner Pettis.
No, I agree. I mean, it's a great. It seems like a great venue, but again, it's very difficult to quantify the results to justify the continued use of taxpayer funds. You know, we did budget it this year, and so I'll support it this year. But I think as we go through budget, this is one of the expenditures that we have bookmarked to reevaluate for future years.
Is Juarez, this is first time for Juarez?
That's correct. Yep, Juarez is joining us and is contributing financially to the endeavor.
And I'm happy to see that Juarez is even if they didn't pay. I remember last year they didn't come up with funding, and it kind of it was disconcerting for me to see that we weren't including Juarez in our advertisement for the region. But I'm glad that they ended up this year. And even if they didn't, I would have advocated for talking about Juarez, because you can't talk about El Paso without talking about Juarez.
Yeah, if you remember our exhibition last year, the state of Juarez is mentioned, it just wasn't featured in heavy graphic treatment, just because of the financial partners wanting to be fair to the partners that did contribute, and being able to focus on those particular areas. But as you pointed out, any conversation about the Las Cruces, El Paso area includes Juarez and northern Mexico. And so we're very pleased that they have been able to allocate and commit funds to this as well as personnel. So I think it actually helps to expand the conversation that we can have about economic development opportunities here on the border. I will say that the purpose of this is really to generate leads for the individual organizations that participate. Our organization is focused on the actual execution and logistical component of doing it, but the two main contributors to the endeavor are the city and the county of El Paso through their respective economic development units. And so from that, they gain economic development leads, and in those individual agencies that then follow up on those leads and develop those leads to become business opportunities. We know our focus from a marketing standpoint is entirely on how many different eyes can we get on our message? How can we develop leads? How can we work from that perspective? And then how you convert those leads into business opportunities is a focus of the individual organizations that benefit from them. And so everything from UTEP to the individual startup companies that we bring along, the city of Las Cruces, the county, and the city all then follow up with those leads to be able to develop them. And it is a long game. It is a long play. I mean, you're not going to see generally an immediate turnaround on those individual interactions. As you know, economic development projects, business projects have a generally longer lead time in terms of being able to evaluate them and then be able to take action on them. But I do think that the continued participation of the agencies helps to continue to promote all of the positivity about our border community. And as we see here, nationally, we continue to be a part of that conversation. This is once again an opportunity for us to be able to focus on the positivity about the workforce, the education levels, and the opportunities that exist here, and how other parts of the world can capitalize on that and invest in our community and be able to help us grow.
And I appreciate taking the feedback that we gave on kind of the presentation of the exhibit. I feel that you can definitely tell this year, where you're going, right? Because I remember when I was working at the booth last time, they were looking at it and they were just like, wait, there's some food over here, and there's just different pictures and things like that. But like the El Paso name wasn't like huge on the exhibit, and I think y'all took that feedback into account, and looking at the mock-up of the exhibit, I think I can definitely tell now.
Where we're at.
Where we're at. I mean, with the map and the names, I think it's out there. It's big.
Yeah, and the video component's great too, because we are able to have really fresh information. As you know, there's a lot of lead time to being able to develop this and getting all this stuff built and actually build out the exhibition space. And so this way, one of the challenges we have with some of our support partners, it takes some time to put together the individual messaging that they want to do. Having the video component allows us to be able to actually do that with a relatively short lead time and be able to have the latest and greatest information there. And nothing, of course, in today's world, having those moving images really are impactful. And so we're really looking forward to how this booth has laid out and our ability to be able to market this community there.
And this might be a question more for our economic development department, but what's the game plan for what we're as a county? What are we highlighting for El Paso as a county as we do this?
Morning, Judge, Commissioners. I'm Sam Trujillo with the Economic Development Department. I'm the interim director right now. The Economic Development Department is going to be recommending that the Commissioners Court approve this interlocal agreement with the City of El Paso for South by Southwest. However, we do have some concerns, and some of those were already pointed out by members of the Commission. One of the things I asked about when originally got this information was how many 381 applications has this led to already, how many leads, and we can't pinpoint any that we've we've received based off of the exposure that has happened over the last couple of years. It is a very professional booth that's being provided. It is significant information, and we're taking it on as a one region area compared to just El Paso or just the county. And so there's a lot of people involved with that. I do think it's going to bring a lot of attention. However, I can't say that exposure has led to anything, and I do know it takes some time for that exposure to generate business. But there's a couple things I wanted to bring to the attention. Commissioner Stout, you did mention that this was already budgeted. That pretty much gave the message to these other organizations that there is a commitment by the County of El Paso to participate. It's late in the ballgame right now. I think that we should honor our commitment and move this thing forward. However, what we'd like to do from an economic development perspective is that we would want to bring some options to the court during this next budget session. So don't take this off the table for the following year, but basically come into the court and sell this option along with other options that we may be able to use the $50,000 for to market El Paso if this one is not getting us the response that we're actually looking for. So, but right now we would recommend that we do approve it and we do honor our commitment and move this forward.
Commissioner, I believe you're asking exactly what the county would be promoting at this event. We would be promoting, obviously, tourism. We use HOP funds to fund this $50,000. So one of our main focuses will be tourism. We'll be promoting the Mission Trail, other historic sites in El Paso, other opportunities for tourism. We'll also be promoting business attraction activities such as our incentives, other businesses that are already in the region. We'll be looking to promote supply chains to support businesses in this region. So that's basically what we promote during the event.
Do we have an opportunity to include what's happening with Fabens and make that part of our?
That's absolutely. As a matter of fact, we have a lot of marketing material already worked up on that specific site.
Excellent. I think what I've seen is that if we're really interested in tourism and interested in getting our image out there, I think we do have to tap into existing opportunities like that was presented today. And I agree with the Commissioner Perez. If we have a disagreement about that, I think we're way into the game. And so, but I do think we have to understand there's some basic things that we have to do. We also don't want to be the ones not participating to this regional focus that we have with our neighbors. And we're the ones talking about making sure that we bring economy and, economic development. And so I'd hate to be the one that's lagging in the process. So I agree. I think we're at a point of something very important. And then the next thing is do the best that we can in our way as a county. That's why I mentioned the Fabens. So what is it that we need to be presenting that day and highlight that and enhance the program as much as possible.
Judge, Commissioner, one other thing I forgot to mention that we will be promoting also. As you know, this is also a major venue for music and film, and there's multiple levels in the South by Southwest Conference. We're also sending some of our team members to help promote consideration of our region for major festivals, especially music festivals. We'll be there promoting our venues for that as well.
Great. We need to help the Coliseum bring some venues in, so that'll help as well. Thank you, Mr. Trujillo.
Thank you. I'll move to approve.
Second.
Commissioner Perez?
Aye.
Commissioner Leon?
Good to see you back, Sam. And my response is no.
I'm good to be back. I just can't move my arm that well.
Commissioner Stout?
Aye.
Commissioner Robinson?
Aye.
Judge Samaniego?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you all.
Item number 11, Public Works. Approve and authorize the county judge to sign the interlocal agreement between Tornillo Independent School District and the County of El Paso for improvements and maintenance to Coyote Park in the amount of $250,000. Funding is available in Capital Project Coyote Park 07 Park Improvement. Further, authorize the county judge to sign the accompanying resolution facilitating the project, contract number 2018-0617.
Good morning, Judge, Commissioners. Veronica Myers, Parks and Recreation Director. Again, in an effort to create a vibrant community and a financially sound county government, we love partnering with different agencies, and so we've taken this opportunity to partner with Tornillo Independent School District, and with me is also David Solis, the Executive Director of Finance for the Tornillo Independent School District. So this started with today we want to formalize our partnership. We started this in March when the Public Works Department received notice from Kaboom to apply for a grant to build the playground. We went and met with Tornillo Independent School District to ensure that all of our citizens, especially those living in that unincorporated area of the county, also have safe access to recreation facilities, programs, and an opportunity for additional health and wellness in their community and have a great community. And they said, yes, we'll do it. We partnered, and in November we built the community with over 300 volunteers, built the Kaboom playground there. And so the county's wants to invest $250,000 that has already been approved to continue the improvements with some additional amenities like a basketball court, a safe barrier wall around that park to protect the citizens there, and a walking path around it, and ADA compliant parking spaces and access to the playground. Questions you may have?
Veronica, how does this fit into more of a master plan of what we'd like to do, and so that we don't have a little bit of we have something here but not here? How is this sort of fitting in to more of a master plan for our parks?
So what we're doing a couple of things right now. Number one is we are working on hiring a firm to do a comprehensive master park plan for our system. And the second thing that we're doing is this month, actually, at February 20th, 21st, 3 of our employees will become certified playground safety inspectors. It'll be the first time the county has that quality of employees in probably ever, or 20 years. So we're really excited about that. And so we are doing some assessments in all of our parks and playgrounds. And we've already started doing that as part of their training for their certification to identify the needs that we have in all the parks to ensure they all meet the same standard in our playgrounds, in our parks, and we have basic standards that we meet in all of our facilities. And this would be one of them.
Does this one seem to be sort of a prototype of what we're wanting to do going forward?
This is one, but this one is just to meet the standards, actually. What they had out there did not meet any safety ADA compliant standards. And so we wanted to bring it up to
and we're trying to make sure they're fit the specific area as well. This was one, the Commissioners Court last year, we brought some projects. This is one of the projects that was prioritized to be addressed because it was really unaddressed. And so through the grant that Veronica brought to us, and we applied for, we were able to do the playground. This is the continuation of that. We've actually modeled this. This is the second time we've used this model to complete a rural park, if you will, or I don't like calling them rural parks, but a park in an underserved area. We did something similar in Fabens. It's a way we can get a park available to our citizens through a partnership and at a more reasonable impact to the county by partnering with a local agency. We did the same thing with Fabens ISD to put in Veterans Park, where we did some investment and then they do the maintenance of the park. But the other projects that we have prioritized, it really just depends on the area, what's needed. I think one of the next ones we set aside funding for a couple other projects besides this one. And then the next one that's on our list that we still don't have quite sufficient funding for is the desert acceptance area, where we're working on putting in a linear park. So it's not necessarily a playground in that area, but that's specific to that area's need and what we can do with the funding that is available. So just wanted to kind of clarify where we were at on our parks project.
I sure like the partnership with ISDs. I mean, I think that makes a lot of sense.
And this one was also part of the regional park plan that was approved on July 26th of 2018.
Commissioner Pettis?
Yeah, Judge, this is conceptually, this was one of the first projects we started, I think, back in 2013. I want to say over a decade ago, the county tried to enter into these agreements with Tornillo ISD and Fabens ISD, but there was some problem with the execution. So the county actually purchased the playground equipment that previously existed here at Tornillo was actually purchased by the county and installed by the county. But there was a very minimal infrastructure other than that. Same thing happened at Fabens. We installed a playground and some lighting equipment. But then there was some disagreement over who was responsible for the maintenance. So over time, the park deteriorated very rapidly because the contract wasn't very clear over, when a light bulb went out and something, was it a county responsibility or school district responsibility? And so that really is what happened here, is that you have a park that has some county infrastructure, but it's essentially just still a dirt lot. And, many kids will still play baseball and will still use it because Tornillo is the largest unincorporated area in El Paso County that doesn't have access to a park. With the help of everybody here and through many years of work, and especially with the school districts, we really appreciate your willingness to do this. I think these agreements are improved where we don't have those, I think we ironed out those differences on who's responsible for maintenance and capital improvements. And so Fabens and Tornillo have been great models for this improved partnership. So we hope that the community will have a long-term sustainable park. We hope that there will be better equipment that will be taken care of over the long term. But it really is a win-win. We're making the investment for the capital improvements, and then the district, who's out there constantly will help to maintain it, and it's a good partnership.
Excellent. Yes, sir.
Good morning, Judge,
Good morning.
Commissioners. David Solis, Executive Director of Finance for the Tornillo Independent School District. I just wanted to take this opportunity to thank the county for its continued support and investment in the Tornillo community. It really means a lot to our community. As that was mentioned before, it did start off with the park. It was a $85,000 playground that was donated by Blue Cross Blue Shield. It was 2,500 square feet. Took 310 volunteers, and just under 5 hours we built this playground. So we're really excited to continue our partnership with the county, and again, we thank you once again for your continued support and investment in our community.
Thank you. Well, thank you, Mr. Solis.
One final question.
Commissioner Pettis?
Will there be any opportunities for the public to provide input, I guess before the amenities are put in? I know it's something that they had mentioned is that, so for example, they said Tornillo is a big basketball community, and you did mention that some basketball courts there. I know in other parks that we've put in unincorporated areas, we've put soccer fields, but I think Tornillo has expressed an interest for probably having basketball courts. Will there be an opportunity to solicit input through that in any?
Let us know. We can always set up those meetings. We do have a community center that we just recently opened up, so if you let us know a time, and we definitely do have the venues if you'd like to have that community input.
Yeah, when we were building the playground at Kaboom, a lot of residents came up and were asking about what was next, if grass was going to be put in, because it's still a dirt lot. And many residents did mention that there's a long basketball tradition in Tornillo ISD, and that they hope to see those types of facilities. And just so as long as the community is informed, about the process, and I think is important.
Completely agree.
So.
I'll make sure we do that at least. Again, we did do it when they did that, and the kids did design their own, not just a playground, but their park. So of course, they did draw a swimming pool and other things that we don't have the funding to do, but we did just say, dream up your park, dream up your playground. So we did get that input and take it into consideration, but we can do another formal, just for the amenities.
We shouldn't be afraid to listen to what they want, and then we give them what we can, right? But let that creativity flow. So, Commissioner Robinson?
refresh my memory, what is the status on the master plan?
It's in purchasing right now. It should be going out to bid. Hopefully this month it goes out to bid. As a matter of fact, I just sent an email this morning to the purchasing agent on a
And
follow-up.
what is your time frame for completing it?
The time frame for
Master plan?
completing?
Yes.
It just depends when it starts, but a minimal 6 months to 18 months. It could take up to 18 months, depending on the studies, the community groups, the focus groups that we do.
I like 6 months.
Yeah.
Me too.
We all do.
We all do. Thank you.
Commissioner Leon?
I just wanted to follow up a little bit. Thank you, Commissioner Perez, for always pushing for these parks because they are in very sad condition. Matter of fact, there's better dog parks within the city than we have actual county parks. So I'm excited and I'm glad that we're moving in that very positive direction. Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioners?
I'll move to approve.
Second?
Commissioner Perez?
Aye.
Commissioner Leon?
Aye.
Commissioner Stout?
Aye.
Commissioner Robinson?
Aye.
Judge Samaniego?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Solis.
Item number 12, purchasing. Approve and authorize the countywide award of bedding and linen for the County of El Paso using by board contract 506-16 awarded to Bob Barker Company, Inc. in Fuquay, Varina, North Carolina. Purchasing approved on February 5th, 2009. Funding is available in multiple departmental operating accounts.
Deborah Correjo, County Purchasing Agent. Before I request approval of this county-wide contract award, I'd like to highlight the fact that when I first stepped on board, one of the major frustrations with the county was that there seemed to be very little cost control and not rapid response to ordering needs. And we came up with a solution that involved aggregate purchasing on a county-wide scale. Departments have been fantastic about working with us to homogenize what they need and what they use, and the auditor's office has helped us come up with ways to make sure that the ordering process is streamlined and doesn't interfere with any of the audit requirements. In this case, this type of award for countywide for the bedding and linen is part of that overall plan we developed. You may remember we've already done it with some other items, and we're such as soil, and we're getting ready to bring this, the next item that will be read, and other items to you in the future. We think it will help with cost control. I know it will help with speed of ordering. And so by doing these aggregate awards, we also get a better type of expenditure tracking at the end. And so with your approval, we'd like to get this county-wide award for bedding and linen in place to Bob Barker through the by board contract.
I just have one question.
Yes.
Is the price right on this one or not? Bob Barker, the guy from right?
Well, we
Nobody
spun
got
the wheel.
joke?
We
I move
spun
to
the wheel,
approve.
and we did not get 100. No.
Second.
Commissioner Perez?
Aye.
Commissioner
My parents made me
Leon?
watch it when I was little. I'm sorry.
Aye.
Comedy's hard stuff.
Commissioner Stout?
Aye.
Commissioner Robinson?
Aye.
Judge Samaniego?
Aye.
Motion carries. Item number 13, approve and authorize the countywide award of work uniforms, shoes, and related items for the County of El Paso using Region 19 Contract 17-7272, awarded to multiple vendors in El Paso, Texas. Purchasing approved on February 5th, 2009. Funding is available in multiple departmental operating accounts.
Deborah Correjo, County Purchasing Agent. Again, this is a countywide award, and if you will notice on the vendors list, every one of the vendors under this cooperative is in El Paso County. Having that many vendors under contract actually allows the departments a wide variety of choices should their needs change during the course of the contract year. Requesting award to all these vendors under the contract pricing as attached through Region 19.
Move to approve.
Second.
Commissioner Perez?
Aye.
Commissioner Leon?
Aye.
Commissioner Stout?
Aye.
Commissioner Robinson?
Aye.
Judge Samaniego?
Aye.
Motion carries. Item number 14, award of bid 19-008, purchase of one box truck 1 flatbed truck 4x4 with 4 full doors, 1 deck mower, 1 10K forklift liquefied petroleum gas, 1 6K forklift gasoline liquefied petroleum gas, and 1 utility trailer to Deere & Company, South Plains Implement Ltd. of Tornillo, Texas, Endless Sales Inc., doing business as Octane Forklifts of Denver, Colorado, FMH Material Handling Solutions Inc. of El Paso, Texas, Randall Reed's Prestige Ford of Garland, Texas. Purchasing approved on February 5, 2019. Funding is available in CIP 19 elections vehicles, CIP 19 graffiti wipe vehicles, CIP 19 Ascarate OP equipment, CIP 19 Ascarate OP vehicles, CIP 19 parks events equipment.
Deborah Correjo, County Purchasing Agent. In this case, a sealed bid was performed. We had really good bids and were able to take our choice of the lowest bidders in many categories. We're requesting approval to each of the vendors as listed in the discussion and background.
Motion to approve. Second.
Commissioner Perez.
Question. Oh, just a moment. Have we done an inventory of our vehicles to determine the ones that we don't need?
Morning, Court. Hopton Staple Fleet Operations Director. Yes, Commissioner, it's the fleet. It's a living process. It's done monthly. We track hours on the equipment, miles on the vehicles, and kind of determine need versus want. What's in the inventory? Currently, we have about 650 vehicles on the road. We have about 120 pieces of equipment. And over the last 4 years, we're actually been focusing more on maintaining what we have rather than procuring new vehicles. And at some point, based on the cost to repair versus buying a new, we're actually weeding out. We've auctioned off more vehicles over the last 4 years than we actually bought to bring into the inventory.
So the outlying areas, do we offer them first choice on those vehicles?
So typically when we retire a vehicle, Commissioner, if it's a law enforcement vehicle, it's offered up, and actually this is getting ready to come to the court probably in the next 2 or 3 weeks. We offer them up to the school districts and the other municipalities. If it's a regular sedan pickup, it's just auctioned off to the general public. But the law enforcement vehicles are, before we strip them and dispose of anything, they're offered to the other entities first.
As well as maintenance vehicles?
Second, Commissioner?
As well as maintenance vehicles?
You mean as far as equipment? Or?
Yes, yeah.
So typically the heavy construction equipment, we would auction those off to the general public. The only one we give first dibs to the municipalities is all the law enforcement vehicles. Okay, we hadn't had a request from any entity to buy anything other than the law enforcement vehicles from us, if I'm understanding your questions correctly.
So only sedans that we would offer to the other
municipalities, the law enforcement vehicles, because they're definitely interested in getting our retired patrol vehicles. If it's any other vehicle in the county that we're getting rid of, it's just auctioned to the general public.
But what if Benton, Westway, one of those want to purchase those equipment?
A policy was put into place by Commissioners Court about a year ago, which allows us to assess any type of disposed equipment for that. So far, and I believe this is what Mr. Staple was referring to, so far we've only had requests for the law enforcement vehicles. However, if they were to come to us and say, we know that you're disposing of a dozer, we would bring that to the court for your consideration. The policy itself allows for the other public agency to offer what they feel is in their budget and they can afford, and it's really just up to the courts to decide if they're willing to make that transaction. But it's something that the courts decided to allow, and it's worked very well for some of the school systems. They've received some vehicles that they've needed very badly.
Okay, I would like to think that we would offer the other municipalities any equipment that we have?
Yes. The policy does allow for anything that's up for disposal, but generally we will only do it by request. And so if we let people know that it's out there and they don't request it, we just send it straight to auction.
Okay, so do we let them know?
I believe on vehicles, Mr. Staples in close contact with the
As
school
well as
systems.
other equipment?
I don't know about that. Yes.
For auction, you could always.
If we take something in, when the Commissioners Court approves a transfer of excess materials to the purchasing department for disposal, we could definitely start increasing the list that we offer to the other agencies. I'm a fan of, and the IT director and I were recently speaking about offering some of the computers that will be up for disposal to other agencies and seeing if they want to buy them too. I like that better than the idea of them just going out pennies for pound into whatever landfill people strip and throw away. They would actually get use in those other agencies.
And I want to just caution the court right now. We're getting a little bit outside the scope of the discussion for this item. This is specifically as to the award of the bid. If we want to have policy discussions, I think on the policy itself, I think that's certainly something that the court can post for a next meeting. But we're getting outside the scope.
Thank you, Christine.
Commissioner Bettis?
Aye.
Commissioner Leon?
Aye.
Commissioner Stout?
Aye.
Commissioner Robinson?
Aye.
Judge Samaniego?
Aye.
Motion carries. Item number 15, award of bid 19-009, purchase of 8 mid-size sedans, 3 full-size 4x4 half-ton pickup truck crew cab, short bed, 2 full-size 4x2 half-ton pickup truck crew cab, short bed, and 3 mid-size cargo vans to Randall Reed's Prestige Ford of Garland, Texas, Rudolph Chevrolet LLC of El Paso, Texas. Purchasing approved on February 5th, 2018. Funding is available in CIP 19 SO Patrol vehicles, CIP 19 DA vehicles, CIP 19 ITD vehicles, CIP 19 Public Works vehicles, CIP 19 Road and Bridge vehicles, CIP 19 Facilities vehicles, CIP 19 County Attorney vehicles, CIP 19 Road and Bridge Fleet vehicles, CIP 19 Nutrition Administrative vehicles, CIP 19 Facilities vehicles.
Deborah Correjo, County Purchasing Agent. In this case, the award is being requested through sealed bid to the 2 vendors listed.
A motion to approve?
Second.
Commissioner Bettis?
Aye.
Commissioner Leon?
Aye.
Commissioner Stout?
Aye.
Commissioner Robinson?
Aye.
Judge Samaniego?
Aye.
Motion carries. Item number 16, approve the award of RFP 18-040 Investment Advisory and Management Services for the El Paso County fiscal year 2018 to First Southwest Assets Management, LLC of Dallas, Texas. Purchasing approved recommendation on February 5th, 2019. Funding is available in General Fund Budget, Contract Services General. For this item, Purchasing Department has requested to postpone for 2 weeks.
Move to postpone. Second.
Commissioner Bettis?
Aye.
Commissioner Leon?
Aye.
Commissioner Stout?
Aye.
Commissioner Robinson?
Aye.
Judge Samaniego?
Aye.
Motion carries. Item number 17, grant applications. Approve the submission of county grant applications as listed and described. If awarded, all grant award agreements will be brought back to Commissioners Court for final acceptance and approval. Approve and authorize the 384th Adult Drug Court Program to apply for fiscal year 2020 Specialty Court Programs Grant through the Office of the Governor, Criminal Justice Division in the amount of $182,988. No county match is required. Further, authorize the county judge to sign the accompanying resolution.
Good morning, Commissioners. Happy birthday, Judge.
Oh, thank you. Good
My
morning.
name is Cynthia Morales Caro. I'm with the Adult Probation Department. We have a collaboration with the Drug Court, with the 384th, and this grant pays for a lot of the treatment that's provided to people on probation in the Drug Court program. We're asking for $182,988.
Move to approve.
Do you know what was the first year that the grant was requested? I know in the backup it says.
Yeah, so I've been writing this grant personally for 10 years.
Okay.
But we've actually received funding from the governor for about 17.
Okay. Thank you.
And is this through the COG?
Yes, sir. Yes, it is.
Okay.
Not directly through the COG, but because we are applicants through CJD.
Right.
We do participate and whenever we need to, but very little involvement is needed for specialty drug courts with the COG. But whenever they need us, we're there.
Okay. You have a second?
No.
I think I made a motion to approve. We don't have a second yet.
A second.
Thank you.
Commissioner Perez?
Aye.
Commissioner Leon?
Stepped out for a second.
Commissioner Leon is absent. Commissioner Stout?
Aye.
Commissioner Robinson?
Aye.
Judge Samaniego?
Aye.
Motion
Thank you for your
carries.
continued support.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Item number 18, approve and authorize the District Attorney's Office to apply for the Office of the Governor Homeland Security Grants Division grant for El Paso County's Border Prosecution Unit for fiscal year 2020 for the period beginning September 1st, 2019 through August 31st, 2020 in the amount of $1,236,000. No county match is required.
I've had Jaime Esparza, the district attorney. I've had this grant for quite some time. There is no county match. We do some really excellent work from here to Brownsville. I am the project director for the Border Prosecution Unit. And so most of what we do is we coordinate from here. The grant used to be much larger, and that was because all the funding came through for the unit through here, but now it goes individually to each of the other 16 offices. And then, of course, our portion. But because I'm the project director, the training monies also come through us and travel money comes through us. And that's why it's so large. But it has been really successful. We have had a great relationship with the Department of Public Safety. We continue to have great relationships with our law enforcement agencies up and down the border. And that's one of the beauties of the Border Prosecution Unit.
Move to approve.
The best part is it's no cash match.
Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Esparza.
Commissioner Perez?
Aye.
Commissioner Stout?
Aye.
Commissioner Robinson?
Aye.
Judge Samaniego?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you, Mr.
Thank you.
Esparza. Thank you.
Item number 19, Budget and Finance. Approve Amendment Number 18 to the County of El Paso's 2018 through 2019 operating budget. This budgetary amendment will increase grants by $42,171.88, thus increasing the overall budget of $437,028,344.63 to $437,070,516.51.
Good morning, Judge Commissioners. Wally Hargrove from the Office of Budget and Fiscal Policy. The backup was sent to you with last week's highlight. One item of note I'd like to bring up for discussion is there is a transfer out of JPD, out of their salary account, moving into their maintenance and repair account for the replacement of a 20-plus-year-old HVAC unit. This is the second such transfer we've done here in recent time. We vetted this out with Public Works. The machine is unserviceable and is in need of replacement. However, I have talked to both JPD staff and facilities management that this component should be part of our short and long-term planning through Mr. Soley in the facilities department. So we're going to be having a longer conversation on this for future planning on replacement of these assets so that they are not necessary to change and doing a budget amendment during the course of the year. There is excess salaries that allowable to cover this cost with the transfer of maintenance and repair, and it was time sensitive as it affected the housing of juveniles in our facility. With that, I'll take any other questions regarding the budget amendment.
Should this did not go follow under the CIP?
Correct. This was not part of this year's CIP.
It was not.
No, sir.
Okay. So for future, we are working on make sure we put those things on the CIP?
We're going to work both with the Public Works staff and juvenile probation to look at the planned replacement of these over time as instead of doing it on an as-needed basis.
Okay, thank you.
Commissioner Pettis?
Yeah, I wanted to point out, I had some problems with that transfer because several years ago, there were lots of budget transfers, and there were transfers from personnel to things like this for maintenance and repair. There also used to be transfers from like utility accounts, to help support other items. And so now the policies will generally prohibit these types of transfers. And if any department under our purview were to request this, I think this would go through the CIP. That this transfer would not be allowed because we don't transfer funds from salaries to maintenance and repair. Because I think it sends a bad signal to taxpayers. Is that what does that say then about the salaries that were budgeted, right? I guess that there's excess funds to be transferred out into other things, especially since we're still early on in the budget year. So I hope whatever the solution is, I hope there's better coordination with JPD because transferring salaries to other types of accounts, I find problematic. And again, we don't allow this for other departments. But with that, and I appreciate everybody's working on that. I'll move to approve, but I just want to again express that we've really got to be cautious with those kinds of transfers.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Second. We don't have a second.
Aye.
Commissioner Stout?
Aye.
Commissioner Robinson?
Aye.
Judge Samaniego?
Aye.
Motion carries. Judge, item number 20 is an addendum to the agenda for executive session. Would you like to recess for
Yes, please.
For executive or for your?
For executive.
Yeah, the press conference that we were supposed to leave for at 12 is now being relocated here, so we don't have to go all the way to Chamizal, so we can do it.
Okay. Commissioners Court will recess into executive session to discuss items number 20 pursuant to Texas Government Code Section 551.071. Commissioners Court will reconvene to take official action.
all county offices will be closed on Monday, February the 18th, 2019, in observance of the President's Day holiday, and will reopen on Tuesday, February the 19th, 2019.
The County of El Paso Public Works Department is offering sandbags at no cost or requirements to the public. The sandbags are outside of the facilities and are available 24 hours a day. The location of the county facilities are the following: the Road and Bridge Fabens Warehouse, located at 1331 North Fabens Street in Fabens, Texas, 79838. The Road and Bridge Canutillo Warehouse, located at 191 Canutillo Avenue in Canutillo, Texas, 79835. And the Road and Bridge Montana Warehouse, located at 14698 Van Lane, El Paso, Texas, 79938. Don't wait in line, pay online. Visit the Financial Recovery Division website at http://www.epcounty.com/budget/financialrecovery.htm to make your payments online or find out more about our kiosk locations. We now accept payments on misdemeanor, felony, and justice of the peace cases.
You can now watch Commissioners Court meetings on YouTube. Go to youtube.com and search for El Paso County Commissioners or El Paso County, Texas. Subscribe to our channels to see our latest videos. Did you know the County of El Paso's Purchasing Department is responsible for ensuring that all items and services needed by various county departments are purchased in the manner required by the state of Texas? Whether through formal sealed bids or smaller dollar quotations, the county purchasing team is dedicated to finding the best contracting return on your taxpayer dollars. Additionally, the purchasing department is responsible for the tracking of inventory within the county and properly disposing surplus through public auctions. For questions about how to become a vendor and compete for county contracts, or to learn more about public auctions, please contact us at telephone number 915-546-2048.
The 346th District Court Judge Angie Juarez Barrid started the El Paso Veterans Treatment Court program in 2012 for veterans and active service members that have been arrested and charged with a felony or misdemeanor criminal offense. To be considered for the specialty court, the statutory criteria includes be a veteran or current member of the United States Armed Forces, including a member of the Reserves, National Guard, or State Guard, and suffer from a brain injury, mental illness, or mental disorder, including PTSD, or be a victim of military sexual trauma, all occurring or resulting from military service. Call Sylvia Serna, Veterans Program Director, at 915-546-2119, or email her at sserna@epcounty.com for any information.
Did you know that the County of El Paso's fixed asset control and inventory disposal is handled through the Purchasing Department? Throughout the course of each business year, the county holds live public auctions to dispose of aged equipment, vehicles, furniture, and other items that are no longer needed. To find out about upcoming auctions or to learn more about the county's inventory disposal process, contact the Purchasing Department at telephone number 915-546-2048.
Commissioners Court has reconvened into regular open session. Item number 21, discuss and take appropriate action regarding potential litigation regarding a national emergency declaration on border security. County Attorney's file number 0027-1988.
No action. Recommendation.
Meeting adjourned. Thank you.
This concludes
Thank you,
today's
Commissioner.
meeting at 12:29 p.m.